Hi, my chosen role for this assignment is an early education teacher. Um, and so for my student Jack that has autism, I've come up with three different strategies to help him be successful in the classroom. So the first is communication. Um, and so for communication is critical for students with autism, whether their symptoms are mild or severe. Being clear and specific with instructions and intentions is the best way to communicate. Having a posted master schedule with Jack's personal, class, and school-wide schedules, including visual aids, will allow Jack to anticipate transitions and changes with more ease. Regular communication with Jack's caregiver and parents will be essential in streamlining his life and aid in transitions from school to home. So, when I communicate with Jack, I need to make sure I'm using step-by-step instructions and so that my communication is direct and very clear so that he doesn't get frustrated and that I make sure I'm setting him up for success. I think weekly communicating with his parents about his progress and how he's doing would be important. And also the master calendar, I think, is a really good way to communicate, and with visuals, so that if Jack is confused about something or unsure of something, he of course can talk to me, but first he can look at the calendar and see for himself, and answer some questions to just have some certainty about his day. The second strategy I came up with was to maintain a high degree of structure. So structure and consistency is valuable for all students, but even more so with students with ASD. Some ways to achieve highly organized structure are to create with the class and then clearly post classroom roles also with visuals to help with communication besides just words, have the visuals there. And then this visual schedule I mentioned before, but make sure that it's updated with if there's a fire drill or a minimum day or anything that is a change in the schedule, that it's reflected in the calendar so that transitions and any changes are more easily handled for Jack, and it's not as unsure, and that way it's a little more consistent and stable and a rigorous structure for him. I like the idea of a token economy system. For Jack, again, just has kind of clear rules to it, and it's straightforward so that it's easy to understand, and it's a very structured way of running the classroom. I also like that it acknowledges positive behavior rather than just negative behavior, and it's mostly set up to acknowledge the positive behavior, and I really like that. I also think weekly backpack cleaning out and desk cleaning out is helpful, just to keep things organized and to keep it clear and structured and really, easy to access. And a color coding system I also think would be helpful rather than just like labeled words. To have a color coding system would give a really nice format for Jack's materials. The third thing I came up with was teach skills in their natural setting. Students with autism like Jack generally struggle to translate skills learned in one environment or context to another. It is helpful for them to acquire new skills in the environment they're going to use them in. For example, peer interactions during gym class might not translate to successful peer interactions on the playground. Both are similar in nature, but are nonetheless in different settings and contexts. So with Jack, I think it's important to kind of role play maybe with him, and then I like the idea of a peer buddy that can do that with him, and go through different scenarios in the environment that they would happen in, rather than like, let's practice lunch behavior in the classroom. Like, it needs to be practiced in the lunch area. So those are some strategies I came up with to help Jack and help him navigate his autism. So thank you.